lovely children. I'm here with you once again to take you through science. Today, we are going to talk about humans and the environment. And under that, we talk about diseases. We are going to talk about diseases. So by the end of the lesson, you should be able to tell what a waterborne disease is. And also tell the effect of using a contaminated water, which of course brings about these waterborne diseases. Then you should also know the various ways in which you can prevent all these diseases. I'm sure you are going to have an interesting lesson. Good. In our previous lesson, what did we talk about? We talked a lot on personal hygiene and sanitation. It has a serious link to what we are going to talk about. That means if you don't maintain a good personal hygiene, what is going to happen to you? You are going to fall sick. And some of these sicknesses are as a result of using a contaminated item, that is water or food. Some are also caused by you not taking good care of your body. Good. Before we continue, let's look at our keywords for today. Our first keyword is going to be diseases. Diseases. Disease is a condition in which bodily function is interfered with. Bodily function is interfered or damaged, resulting in symptoms or certain signs. So, the moment you have a disease, you are going to start showing certain signs or symptoms. There's another keyword over there, which is symptom. Symptom. What does it mean? Symptom is an indication of a disorder or disease such as pain, nausea, weakness. It's an indication. So the moment you start getting such signs and indications, that means those are the symptoms to a particular disease. You can see in the picture that a boy is showing certain symptoms of a disease. Look at the picture very carefully. What do you see? You see the boy feeling headache, feverish. What again? The picture tells it all. Alright. Our next keyword is contamination. Contamination. What does it mean when we say contamination? Contamination is the action or state of making or being made impure by polluting or poisoning. I'm taking it again. Contamination is the action or state of making or being made impure by polluting or poisoning. So if something is being polluted or poisoned, we said the thing is contaminated. So children, what are some of the things that we do that contaminates our water bodies? You throw refuse into water bodies. You sometimes allow animals to drink from the water body that we fetch to use. It is very, very bad. What again? Some of you defecate instead of you going to the place of convenience, a place made for you, or the lavatory to do your thing. Decide to do that near the riverside, and that is very, very bad. Some of us, we allow our sewage to flow into our water bodies. It is not good at all. All these things contaminate our water bodies, thereby bringing some of the waterborne diseases that we are going to talk about. So, what is the meaning of waterborne diseases? The borne, look at the spelling, B-O-R-N-E, not B-O-R-N. Waterborne diseases. So waterborne diseases are caused by drinking contaminated or dirty water. So children, any disease that you contract by the use of this contaminated water is known as waterborne disease. Now let's look at some of the effects in the use of contaminated water. It's definitely going to result in diseases. Yes, you know what a disease is. One disease that can affect you when using or when you use a contaminated water is cholera. Cholera. How will you know that you've contracted cholera? Let's look at some of the symptoms. We said symptoms are indications or signs showing certain kind of disease. So now we know the disease, which is cholera. What are the symptoms? You have frequent watery stool, as in you feel like defecating very often. That is one symptom of cholera. Another symptom is that you vomit. So anything that you eat, you feel like vomiting. You wouldn't feel like eating. You also feel so much weakness in the body. So you feel like lying down all the time. So anytime that you feel or you have these symptoms, it means you've contracted cholera, which is a waterborne disease. It is not only water that causes cholera. You can also get it from eating a contaminated food, or food that is what? Poison. Okay, let's look at another effect. Another effect is dysentery. The disease called dysentery. Using a contaminated water brings about dysentery. It also has the same symptoms like cholera. That means you have frequent watery stool. You also have loss of weight. Yes. So the moment you start having such symptoms, that means you've contracted dysentery. I hope you can see all that in the picture. Another disease that I have not talked about in this slide is Biohazard. Yes, you can contract that when you swim in the contaminated water. The possible symptoms may be abdominal pain, or you can even urinate blood. Yes, or ringworm. So when you swim in the contaminated water, you have a disease called ringworm. Alright, what are the ways in which we can prevent these waterborne diseases? Can you think of one? Okay, one common way in which we can prevent these diseases is by boiling the water. So, water fetched from rivers or ponds must be boiled good before drinking or bathing. So by so doing, all the germs in the water or in the contaminated water will die by boiling the water. So make sure when you go to your village and you go to the riverside to fetch water to use, remember to tell them to boil the water because the water might be contaminated. Another way in which you can prevent this water body is by filtering the water. Yes. What does it mean when I say filtering the water? Look at the picture very carefully. You can see a pot and then a cloth covering the mouth of the pot. Yes, this water will filter all the germs in the contaminated water, and this will make the water clean for you to use. Of course, you need to boil it again so that it will kill any germ that will still be alive after filtering. Good. Now let's look at how we can make water safe in a large quantity. The Water Corporation, what did they do to the water before it flowed through our pipes? They also do something to the water. They use chemicals. So they use certain chemicals in making the water safe. Chemicals such as chlorine and alum. Yes, you can also use alum at home to make all the dirt in the water settle. Very good, children. We've had an interesting lesson, isn't it? Yes. Now I know you know some of the effects of using contaminated water. What have you learned today? We talked about waterborne diseases. And what did we say it is? Or they are? They are the diseases that we contract in the use of a contaminated water. Diseases such as cholera, dysentery, or even Biohazard or ringworm. We also looked at the various ways in which we can prevent these waterborne diseases. We said we can boil our water before using it. You can also filter it. We also use chemicals such as chlorine and alum. Very good. Hope you've enjoyed the lesson. So I come your way another time. Bye-bye.